It's time for the Splash Live from Civic Center TV, featuring stories from and about people like you in the greater West Bloomfield area. Simulcast on cable, 89.3 Lakes FM, social media, and the web. Now live from Green Media Center on Walnut Lake Road, it's the Splash Live.
Live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM. I'm your host, Jake Sheff, bringing you all of the latest news and events from right here in Greater West Bloomfield. The West Bloomfield School District celebrated a major milestone with the topping out ceremony for the new Chico Elementary School, marking the placement of the final steel beam and the completion of the building's structural frame. This moment symbolizes not only the steady progress of construction, but also the dedication and collaboration of the district team, architects, and construction partners who have worked tirelessly to bring this vision to life. Each beam stands as a testament to their commitment to creating a beautiful, modern learning environment for students and the community. With the structure now standing tall, excitement continues to build for the next phase of this transformative project, as the best is yet to come. You can send your congratulations to the team on Facebook at West Bloomfield Schools and to see all the photos of how the construction is going and what is yet to come with the brand new Chico Elementary School. The West Bloomfield Lakers may be down after their loss to Oxford on Friday, but they are certainly not out. They are getting focused and ready to face Clarkston in a crucial football match this Friday at home. If West Bloomfield wins, they share the OAA Red Division title with Clarkston, as the OAA does not have tiebreakers. Whereas if Clarkston wins, they will win the title outright. Our own Tyler Keefe just stopped by West Bloomfield High School to speak with head coach Zach Hilbers to hear his thoughts on the team's first loss of the year and how they're preparing to bounce back against Clarkston.
Alongside head coach Zach Hilbers, I'm Tyler Keefe. The Lakers coming off of their first loss this season and what couldn't have been a closer matchup on the road on homecoming night at Oxford High School. Final score was 33-34 in favor of the Wildcats. Pretty wild game. Started out with you guys down 14 points. You come back, score 26 straight. The result ended up not being in your favor. That last really minute of the game was the biggest of all the turning points, and there were several throughout the game. Take us through that last minute, what Oxford did really well to put them over the hump, and what you believe, in hindsight, your team maybe could have done better to possibly, if it is possible, turn the tide there.
Well, I think the last minute, you got to give them credit. They didn't really rush. They were patient in their plan. So, we fumbled the ball back to them with, I think, 4 minutes left, if my memory serves me right. And, down by a score, needing a touchdown to win, a lot of teams start to press right there. And they kind of kept their same game plan that they had. And, we probably were defending the pass a little bit too early on the start of that drive. They started running the ball. We did a good job of kind of anchoring down as they got closer, and thought we had strung together a few stops in a row, but they had a 3-year starter at quarterback who made a great play, extending the play, and made a good throw at the end.
Another fantastic game this season from Jack Hendricks, 10 for 16 passing, 151 yards, 2 touchdowns, the last of which was probably the wildest touchdown he'll have in the entirety of his career. Talk about that last play. Pretty amazing moment for Oxford.
Yeah, you got to it's probably a pretty cool story for them and on their homecoming to see their fans get to experience it. Obviously, it's not good at our expense. But, give him credit. Kid's a little competitor. He's a fighter. He did what he had to do on that play. And, I told our kids the ball got tipped. There's an element of luck to that. We got to understand that. But our mistakes in the second and third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter put us in a position where a lucky play like that will lose you the game, where, if we don't fumble the ball away or we don't have a penalty on 4th and 1, they don't even have the ball in that situation. So, that's how the game works. And if you take care of what you need to, you don't find yourself in that situation.
What changed in that third quarter, early on in the fourth quarter, from the adjustments you made early on when you were down 14 points? Oxford seemed to have your number. You made some changes, you made some adjustments, you made some improvements, you get the momentum back. When it goes back the other direction from the coaching standpoint, how do you address that and try to stop the run from, not the run, of course, the running game, the run of points and making plays from your opposing team in that situation?
Well, I think you kind of rely on your senior leadership. They've been really good with that all year, and I think they really were last Friday too. It's just, I don't think we let it slip. It's just, we fumbled the ball on a 3rd and 2 where we picked up the first down, 4 minutes left, and if we just hold on to it there, they're in a situation where they have to use timeouts to even try to get the ball back at all, and 3 more plays, you could be kneeling. So I don't know. That's not. That's something that obviously happens in football. We just got to coach our guys up better to prevent it from happening in that situation where it can really cripple you.
Yeah, it seemed to really be a battle between the two defenses, trying to shut down a mass of weapons that both teams have in the skill positions. From your side of things, obviously you're practicing against that yourself with your offensive weapons every single week, but when you go up against a guy like Seth Tabor, who had 3 touchdowns last week, 4 in the last 2 weeks, a quarterback as talented as Jack Hendricks, is there really a way to prepare for that kind of an outlook in terms of talent on the field?
You try your best every single week. The tough thing is teams are different and they're unique, and it's hard to, a couple days of practice that you have, get high school kids to emulate somebody else. We might have good players doing it, but they're just different kinds of players. And that's always tough to, I guess, simulate in practice. We do the best we can with it, with, their schemes and their players, but it's always different when it's the real deal lining up against you.
And it's different this time of the year, too, as you start to get really into the OAA Red Division. Every single team in this conference is a threat and has proven that to you in each and every one of these games. So as you take the good and the bad from last week and what ended up being a 1-point game, what lesson does that present to your team, especially those younger players, about all those things that you preach every single week, from the first practice of preseason to the last practice of the season, about discipline, about being in the correct sets, about communication, especially as you have Clarkston on the docket this week?
Yeah, I think we talked about it in our team meeting last night. Like, a lot of credit has to go to Oxford. They were in a similar game against Rochester Adams. It was tied at the half, and Adams ran away in the second half. They had a similar game with Clarkston, where I think it was a 17-10 game at half, real competitive, and Clarkston ran away in the second half. And it looked like that was happening with us, where we ran off 26 straight points, 33-6 run, where we had total control of the game, but they never gave up. And despite the fact that had happened to them twice for sure, seemingly a 3rd time in a row, they stayed in the game and trusted their stuff. So I think there's lessons in that. And we talked about what we can do if we're in a similar situation, is just kind of emulate what they did. And then obviously the easiest learning experience for us is look at the mistakes we made that cost us the game. Because those always are amplified a little bit more when you have a finish like we did on Friday night. That, hey, look, 1 play here, 1 play there. We had a list of 12 of them. Any one of these singular plays, and we win. So you don't always know when those plays are going to happen, but you got to be ready for them either way.
The good from Friday night was a lot of what we've seen through the first 5 weeks of the season before that. Very efficient offensively, especially in the air. Another great game for Jackson Carver. Jamal Shakespeare getting involved in the air also seemed like the scheme from Coach Rise was getting mixed up a little bit differently this week, getting more players involved, and it was another fantastic week, and 2nd in a row, really, from Will Espy, who had the 2nd-best rushing performance of the entire season. How is that offense changing as the season goes on, evolving as you get more of those really talented players involved and go up against, simultaneously, tougher competition?
Yeah. Well, I think the kids have really bought in. They're kind of selfless, where they know that we're going to spread the ball around, be really balanced, and they've kind of bought into that mentality, because I think they know it makes us better as a group. And then also when you get your touches, it usually is a little easier. It's never easy, but it's hard to key on any one play or any one player. That's our goal. But the offense was really good. We scored 5 touchdowns. We ran for 270 yards, and usually if you do that, you win. But you can point to some of the other things for, I guess, why we didn't.
Just goes to show how tough it is to win football games in the OAA. You can be an undefeated team. You can be a 2-loss team that's on the rise. And any given week, 1 play, 2 plays, 1 moment could be the difference between you winning and losing, picking up a whole lot of playoff points in the process. The Lakers falling 33-34 last week against the Oxford Wildcats. Big game again this week at home. Clarkston coming to town. CivicCenterTV.com/LakersSports for more information on that. Coach, as you come out of last week and into this week, also on the defensive side. We talked about the stars shining on offense. Rising stars on the defensive side played a big role last week. Jamar Ray had a couple of really critical stops. Tristan Hunter continues to get even more involved on that defensive line, being a power player. How is that also aiding an already pretty talented defense that's been putting up great numbers so far this season?
Yeah, those guys and a few others are just going to make us better and better, we think. Kind of gives us a good rotation and depth along the defensive line because they've always shown ability to make plays. Jamar especially, we know he's a tremendous athlete, got great size and length. He just has to become a little bit more of a complete player, and he's done that more and more each week, so he's played more and more. And I guess with that, with the opportunity, you've seen him make more and more plays.
Yeah.
Great things coming this week against Clarkston. It's going to be a very, very exciting match on Friday night. And you can check up with all of the latest Lakers sports news on civiccentertv.com/LakersSports, so you know right where to go to watch this very exciting game this Friday. It's been a few months since the new Chaldean Cultural Center opened its doors in West Bloomfield. And since that day, they have been implementing several different educational opportunities for the greater West Bloomfield community, including learning the Chaldean language. An important thing for people to learn, as Michigan is home to the second largest Chaldean population in the world, just outside of Iraq. Here to tell us more about these classes and what they offer is Farah Shamami, the program coordinator for the Chaldean Community Foundation. Farah, thank you so much for joining us today.
Hi, Jake. Good morning. Thank you for having me on today.
Of course. Good morning to you as well. I'm going to jump right into it. What inspired the Chaldean Community Foundation to include Chaldean language courses as part of its new West Bloomfield Center offerings?
So I'm sure many people may know that there is another Chaldean Community Foundation in Sterling Heights, but this location here in West Bloomfield, the focus is on cultural preservation. And one of the things that we love to preserve is the Chaldean language. We have started classes for youth as well as adults. We kicked off in the summer and had a class for teenagers. It was very well the response to that class was amazing. We had nearly 17 kids take that class that came in every Monday and Wednesday from 9 to 11 a.m. for 6 weeks.
Great, and that's awesome that these classes have already made such an impact on the community. How would you say these classes help to preserve and strengthen the cultural identity of the Chaldean community, especially among younger generations?
Well, being born and raised here in America, we spoke primarily Arabic or Chaldean at home. But going to school, English is where we learned and picked up a new language. But then it was difficult to learn a second language. And so now a lot of the youth regret not learning the language at home. And so a lot of people they're very eager to register and start the classes.
I'd imagine so. Now, as you mentioned, there already have been a few classes that have taken place, and there's another wave of classes that is taking place right now. How has the community response been so far to the introduction of these language classes in West Bloomfield? What have some of the students had to say?
Oh, the students are amazing. They walk into the class and they're greeting each other and the instructors in Chaldean. So another word for hello in Chaldean is shlama. And so that's what they say. And then when they leave, they say posh bishlama, which is goodbye. They're enjoying learning numbers and they're learning the days of the week. And, although they're walking away with a great grammar knowledge, it's eventually we'd love to teach reading and writing as well.
Of course, and I like that these classes are making it so that you enter the class and you're already speaking the language, kind of like the language classes that I've taken throughout high school and through college. It's a language course, and that's exactly what you are meant to do. So that's perfect. Getting that experience out of the way is perfect. In what ways do you hope these classes will foster connection between both longtime residents and maybe some of the newest members of the Chaldean community?
Well, I think some of the connections are that, we all come from the same place. So we grow up, learning the Chaldean culture, the traditions, the heritage, but now here's another component. It's the language. And so I think this will go on for many, many years as they continue to learn. And then we're also integrating cooking. So we've started our kitchen here, and we have a demo kitchen, and we've been teaching Chaldean dishes as well.
I love that. More and more great opportunities to learn throughout West Bloomfield. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Farah Shamami, the program coordinator for the Chaldean Community Foundation, talking about the language courses for the Chaldean language that are currently underway and available with the Chaldean Cultural Center in West Bloomfield. Now, Farah, these language courses, how do they complement maybe the broader mission of the Chaldean Community Foundation and its expansion into West Bloomfield and hopefully beyond West Bloomfield as well?
So we're looking, part of it is to, again, preserve the culture. The Chaldean language, Aramaic, that's the language that Jesus spoke. We're very proud to be able to speak that language. And then as kids and adults learn it and continue to speak it, the language is more well known. Currently, we do have a non-Chaldean in our language class, our adult language class, that comes in every Monday and wants to learn because they have a lot of Chaldean clients. And so it's great to be able to communicate with others.
That's perfect. I love it. Reaching beyond the Chaldean community in West Bloomfield. I always love to hear it. And you've talked about the language classes and you've also talked about the cooking classes that are underway with the center. Are there any future plans to expand these language programs or maybe incorporate other cultural education initiatives at the new center?
Absolutely. So the language classes that we have currently for this fall semester are for youth and adults, and we'll continue to have 2 to 3 classes per semester for the different age ranges. But coming in 2026, the Chaldean Cultural Center and Museum will be moving here to the foundation from Shenandoah Country Club. So our mission here will continue to grow and, educate and inspire others.
Perfect. Bringing more history to West Bloomfield for everybody to see. That is amazing. Now, as you mentioned, the fall semester classes are currently underway. How can people who might be interested in learning the Chaldean language get involved, and where can they go to learn a little more information?
So follow us on social media. We have a Facebook, we've got Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. But also another great way to communicate with us is through our chamber or through our foundation's website, chaldeanfoundation.org. And on there, it does say there's a tab that says CCF West, and then you can volunteer. There are a list of events which include the language classes as well as the cooking classes.
Perfect. Great ways for everybody to get involved. Farah, I got one more question before we wrap things up. What would you like to say to maybe some other families who are watching this, looking to get involved with the Chaldean Center and looking to support the program's growth and the center's growth in any way they can, whether that be by taking classes, volunteering, or something else?
I would say that you're never too old or too young to learn something new, whether it's language, whether it's cooking. I know some of it may seem daunting, but until you're immersed in it, I think then you'll really enjoy it and say it wasn't too bad. But then also coming in here, you can schedule a tour on our site as well, and on the you can tour the building. We can walk you through the classrooms, the kitchen. We've got, very, state-of-the-art technology here. We have a beautiful library here that houses a lot of books in Chaldean as well as Arabic. So lots of great and fun, interesting things to see here. And then we're also bringing in older adult programming.
You are absolutely right. Plenty of great things to see at the Chaldean Cultural Center in West Bloomfield, and can't wait to see what else is to come. Farah, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
You as well. Always love to hear about these great educational opportunities in West Bloomfield, especially ones that help you get in touch and to learn more about the Chaldean community. Some fun events are in store courtesy of the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, with their Friends Fall Book Sale taking place this weekend from Friday, October 10th to Sunday, October 12th, and their Schuler Books Fundraiser Book Days from October 19th to the 25th, both events dedicated to spreading the joy of reading all throughout Greater West Bloomfield. Rosalind Yerman and Hertha Woodruff of the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, who were in charge of book selling and fundraising respectively, joined me recently for a discussion all about these upcoming events. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning. Morning.
Really happy to have you with us and really excited to be hearing about these fun events that are coming up with the West Bloomfield Library and to be getting people more excited about reading. Rosalind, I'm going to go to you first about the Friends Fall Book Sale. What inspired the creation of this year's book sale?
Well, book sales are a Friends staple. The Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library currently hold 2 large weekend book sales, one in the fall and one in the spring. This year's fall book sale will be held, as you noted, on Friday night, October 10th through Sunday, October 12th. Friday is preview night just for friends of the library, but people can join at the door. Sale hours on Saturday are from 9 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. And Sunday is bag day, where you can get a bag of books for just $5. Teachers get $5 off all weekend by showing their ID at checkout.
All right, great ways for lots of people to be getting a bunch of books, taking them home, finding the next great read. And it's more than that. As I also mentioned, there's going to be the Schuler Books fundraiser from the 19th to the 25th. Hertha, I'm going to jump over to you. What inspired the collaboration between Schuler Books and the Friends of the West Bloomfield Library for this fundraiser?
It actually was the vision of our West Bloomfield Township Public Library Director, Kathy Ross. She booked these dates, and she booked these dates to coincide with the National Friends of Libraries Weeks, which this particular year is October 19th through October the 25th. So she did the work. She has been collaborating with Schuler Books since they opened 2 years ago. And she has tried to create a community partnership with them. And so this is why we're doing this. And our campaign is to tell our viewers out there to start your holiday shopping at Schuler Books on October 19th through October the 25th. Schuler Books is more than just a bookstore. It's a gift shop as well. I was there recently, and when you walk in, their holiday box greeting cards, for Hanukkah and Christmas. Their kitchen items, their puzzles, their toys for kids, stuffed animals, jewelry. There's so much that you can offer. So when you're thinking about going to Schuler, you don't have to say, well, I don't want to purchase a book for a family member. You can actually purchase another gift item, and they all will be honored to benefit the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. 20% of this will go to the Friends. You must, if you are in the store, mention at checkout that this purchase is for the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Now, if you do purchase online, you have to use an online promo, which is WB Library, in order for it to count. And we will get the 20% of the proceeds to the Friends of the West Bloomfield Public Library. We also are celebrating this year the 25th anniversary of the opening of the new West Bloomfield Library. So it's a time to celebrate during this time. It's a real exciting time. So, we'll look forward to you. We want you first to go to the used book sale, and then you can come over later to start your holiday shopping at Schuler Books.
That's absolutely right. Lots to celebrate with this being the 25th anniversary. And you're absolutely right. There are a lot of opportunities to get that holiday shopping done early. I mean, Christmas, Hanukkah, all those other holidays, they are going to be here before you know it. Now, Rosalind, as Hertha just mentioned, a lot of the proceeds from the book days and the book sale events are going to be used to benefit the Friends of the West Bloomfield Library and the library itself. How will those proceeds specifically be helping the library for the future?
Well, the proceeds of all fundraisers support the library and by extension the community, because the library is truly the heart of the community. It serves the community in its entirety from young to old and meets their information and entertainment needs. Fundraiser proceeds support library programs and services, helping them meet the needs of the community. And specifically, we'd like to highlight that those proceeds also support a number of Friends programs, including What's Cooking, Talkin' Broadway, Music at Maine, and Book Talk. There is truly something for everyone at the public library throughout the year.
You're certainly right. A lot more than just stopping by to get books. Lots of great conversations and lots of chances to communicate with other like-minded members of the community. Now, Hertha, I would imagine in planning some events like these that there are maybe some challenges, but also some rewards in organizing events like these. What would you say some of those might be?
Well, some of the challenges for both events is getting the word out to the community. We have to publicize this. We have wonderful events to publicize, and they will truly benefit for themselves and their families. So getting the word out. And of course, it will benefit our award-winning library. So we want them to come out and support us wholeheartedly. Thank you.
Of course, that is what we're here for, to help spread the words of events like these. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Rosalind Uhrman and Hertha Woodruff of the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, talking about a couple of great events coming up with the library to benefit the love of reading and to benefit the library itself. Now, Hertha, how would you say these book-related events contribute to community engagement and literacy?
I think it can help literacy, especially if you have a young child at home or a grandchild. You can build your child's library, home library, by purchasing items from the used book sale that are very lightly used. You know, they look like they're brand new, or purchasing brand new items from Schuler Books. Build your child's library at home, your grandchild or your child's, and you will have that child's test scores will increase. I guarantee that, having that opportunity. And also, it will always support our library, and this is what we're looking for, to support our library in our community if you do this thing. So, and also, just think about Schuler Books. Schuler Books is an independent bookstore, so it's a way to support Schuler Books. This is their 4th opening in West Bloomfield. I think the latest one, they have 4 locations. And so let's support an independent bookstore that has wonderful offerings. They support local authors, local artists. And if you have not out there had the opportunity to experience Schuler Books, I encourage you to go. But go during our particular days that are important, and that's October 19th to October the 25th during our fundraiser. Thank you.
Absolutely love supporting the great people over at Schuler Books. Done some great events with them in the past. They absolutely deserve all of the promotion and all of the help they can get. Rosalind, how do you think community book sales and fundraiser benefit local readers and their families?
Well, as I previously mentioned, book sales are a Friends staple, and they're unique in that they serve all segments of the community. They benefit readers and families by providing reading material for all age groups at greatly reduced prices. Book sales provide fiction and nonfiction, fiction and classics, to the latest novel by one's favorite author and the opportunity to discover new authors, to nonfiction in every genre, along with CDs, DVDs, and puzzles. It's also a social event where you may pick up a book that someone else says they've read and enjoyed, or recommend one to you. It's just truly, truly a community event.
That's right, and it's great. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just going to add that, as Hertha was talking about, and as you asked, it certainly increases literacy because it supplements the efforts of the public library by putting reading material into the hands of residents.
That's absolutely right. And it's great that people like you two are helping the West Bloomfield Library in their mission and helping get the word out for events like these. I am curious, how can somebody get involved with the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Library if they would like to?
I can answer that. I'm going to put this right on my shoulder. The easiest way to become involved with the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library is to become a member. And it's very inexpensive to become an individual member. It is just $10 a year. So if you join, you will receive all type of information. You will receive emails. You will be informed, and also if you join, you may want to volunteer sometimes. So that's the easiest way to do it. You can get these bookmarks. That's why I'm holding this like this.
Sure.
In the lobby of our library, as well as if you want to join, you can join in our friend shop that's open from Mondays through Fridays in our library. Or you could actually go online to our website, to our West Bloomfield Township Public Library website, and click on the Friends, and you can join. So you can join online. If you get one of these bookmarks, you can mail in your membership. There are other levels of joining and levels of giving, but $10, everybody can give $10 to join it. It was the best decision that I did for my family, because there are so many events that are complimentary and just would normally not know about, but unless by becoming a friend is the best way to do that. So I encourage you, become a friend during the month of October. Become a friend, so so that you can before Halloween. So so I encourage you. That's the easiest way, and then perhaps you may consider volunteering.
Absolutely. I got one more question before we wrap things up. And Rosalind, this one is for you. What message would you give to someone who's considering attending or donating to these events for the first time?
I would definitely encourage anyone to attend a book sale for all of the reasons I previously mentioned. Not only are you going to find a wide variety of reading material from fiction to nonfiction, for all age groups and in all genres, but you're going to be supporting the library and the services that it offers to the community. And I truly can't stress that enough. I will add that people get introduced to the library sometimes when they're just visiting the book sale, or they may discover a library service or a library program they didn't know existed. What I also wanted to add as far as a message is that if you're interested in what the Friends do, attending the book sale is a great idea, because there will be a table with handouts available all weekend, and any of the volunteers will be more than happy to answer any questions residents have about joining the Friends, and I truly couldn't recommend it more.
Absolutely. They're part of such great events like these. Can't wait to see what's to come. Rosalind, Hertha, thank you both so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you.
Lots of fun in store with the Friends of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. Once again, their Friends Fall Book Sale is taking place from October 10th to the 12th, and their Schuler Books Fundraiser Book Days is taking place from the 19th to the 25th. With the 2025 school year already well underway, high schoolers are already starting to look ahead to the future and to commit to their destination for college. The West Bloomfield Youth Assistance is doing their part to help as many students as they can with scholarship opportunities that are available all year round, each one designed to help a local family. West Bloomfield Youth Assistance Vice Chair Emma Zirkle and caseworker Lisa Shields joined us on The Splash recently to tell us all about these opportunities. Thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, a really topical topic right now as we're heading back to school. Emma, I'm going to start with you. For those who may not be familiar, can you explain the mission of the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance and the role it plays in supporting local families?
Sure. West Bloomfield Youth Assistance is a project of the family courts in conjunction with our local municipalities and school districts and volunteers. And it is a program actually through every district in Oakland County, and it is exclusive to Oakland County. The goal of our program is to help students stay out of the juvenile or the justice system, and how to keep them getting the services and support that they best need. We provide counseling and educational programs for both students and parents. And we have the benefit of being able to work with the families and not just the students in order to provide services.
That's absolutely right. You guys do a lot of work to help keep those students on a positive path and reduce the chances of them entering the justice system. Could you go into detail with that a little bit more?
Certainly. Although at some point I'll let Lisa, who's visiting with us today too, our caseworker, help us, and that's where she actually excels. Lisa, Lisa, why don't you do this part?
Thank you. So as a caseworker, I receive referrals for many reasons. And a majority of those are prevention in nature. So those can be referrals made from parents, from school staff, even police and the prosecutor's office. So with youth assistance, I provide short-term, solution-focused counseling and referral services for families at no charge. And as Emma had mentioned, the other piece of our prevention programming is to provide programs for our families. So Emma will talk about our scholarships, but also that family education piece.
All great resources with the youth assistance. Thank you so much for that, Lisa. And as you just said, these services are provided at no cost to families. How do you ensure that financial barriers never get in the way of children receiving help?
As I said, our services, there is no charge for our services as the casework side. And with the scholarships, families qualify as long as they have free and reduced lunch, and they are able to provide their children to participate in extracurricular activities such as sports or dance or art classes, even driver's training. So these kinds of activities help to build a child's self-esteem, and which helps them to just be a stronger person.
I love it. All great things to help the kids in our community. Now, as I said earlier, fall scholarships are officially open for everybody this year. Emma, can you give us an overview of some of the opportunities that are available with the youth assistance this year?
Sure. So through our scholarships, you can apply for up to $250 towards any program. And we have students that might apply for one of their sports teams, or they might apply for a dance class. And the benefit to the family is we also know that students that are busy are less likely to be getting into trouble. So in addition to building self-esteem and building connection to a community, they're also staying busy, all factors that are important for positive development in students.
Sounds like they provide so much for these students, and it's great to hear of everything you guys are doing. Lisa, when it comes to these scholarships, how would you say they align with the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance's overall mission to support and empower young people?
So as Emma said, it helps when young people are involved in their community. Again, it's that self-confidence piece, it's that self-esteem piece that helps that young person to feel empowered, to feel strengthened, and that's what young people need to have in order to avoid any risky behaviors that, again, could lead them into a negative path, and that could possibly turn into in court involvement in the future.
For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Emma Zirkle and Lisa Shields with the West Bloomfield Youth Assistance, talking about the many fall scholarship opportunities that are available for students this year, as well as everything they do to help students in our community. Now, Emma, I'm sure with these scholarships, there have been many success stories and many great people who have gone on to great success from West Bloomfield. Do you know of any success stories or great resources or just great stories in general that have come from the youth assistants?
I'm going to choose not to answer that because we really want to respect all of our students' privacy. And I would hate to give anything away in that way. But maybe I could tell you about one of our upcoming educational programs we're planning. This year, we're going to be bringing in a resource through Therapyology, and we're going to be providing educational programs for parents on raising confident children. So, and our scholarships is definitely an important component of what we do, but we also recognize that we have to work with whole families. And so we do like to provide educational opportunities for parents. So this is going to be in-person programs. We're starting with the elementary school, and then we have some different programming we're going to work on for the middle schools as well. Parents can also go onto our website. We have a whole selection of videos called Parenting on the Go, which are really short interviews, just a few minutes, on very topic-specific content that can help parents with a range of issues dealing from young children up through high school.
Awesome. Always love to hear about these resources for everybody, especially the parents of these students in West Bloomfield. I got one more question before we wrap things up, and this question is for both of you. Looking ahead, how do you hope these scholarship programs continue to grow and benefit the West Bloomfield community? Emma, we'll start with you.
Okay, I take that back. We do have one scholarship example I'm going to give. We have the Rachel Ezekian Scholarship, and she was a former staff member who's devoted her absolute heart and soul to YA. And we provide scholarships for students to make it's a change maker scholarship. One of our students brought in a program on heart health, and we know that she actually was able to find students through their screening that needed additional medical observation that may not have gotten it if they hadn't done the heart screening through our program. And then another student is using the funds to create a care closet in an elementary school so that students who are in need can go shopping for basic necessities there, whether it's toothpaste and a toothbrush or a new pair of gloves or a jacket, there will be items there. And both of those have been subsidized by YA, but really the efforts were done by those students, and those students now have gained some skills to help them become community leaders.
Well, we wish both those students best of luck on their success. Lisa, same question.
So as Emma had mentioned earlier, we are a community-based program and we rely on funding from the circuit court as well as our school district and West Bloomfield Township. But we also lean on donations. So with the community involvement of other businesses, having those donations will help us to provide even more scholarships for young people. So again, more scholarships for more activities for young people to enjoy and learn from. So that's what I would like to see in the future is more funding so that we can have more scholarships.
Of course, more funding for more scholarships. Can't wait to see it. Emma, Lisa, thank you both so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
It was great to have both of them stop by to hear more about these incredible scholarship opportunities that are going to be available all year long to be helping these kids get ready for college. The Heroes Appreciation Breakfast takes place November 4th from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., hosted by West Bloomfield Parks in collaboration with West Bloomfield Township, the West Bloomfield School District, and the West Bloomfield Public Library. The event is held at West Bloomfield Middle School and looks to honor the dedication and services of both veterans and their families, giving thanks to heroes past and present. Bernadette Hudgens, the Senior Services Manager with West Bloomfield Parks, joined us recently to tell us what we can expect. Bernadette, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. So glad to be here to join you.
Absolutely glad to have you with us as well. Really looking forward to the Heroes Breakfast coming up soon. It's one of the biggest events with West Bloomfield Parks that takes place every single year. How long has this event been going on, and what does it mean to West Bloomfield Parks?
I'd say a little over 10 years. This program has been a program that is one of those things that is a staple in the community. It is an event that we have a lot of great support because people want to honor our veterans. I mean, honestly, we think about the freedoms that we have here in our great country. It is because of the sacrifices and dedication of our veterans. So we are happy to take this opportunity as a token to show them our appreciation.
That's absolutely right. And of course, it's not just West Bloomfield Parks who helps to put this together. As we mentioned,
Yes.
There's a ton of partnerships that help make this event possible. It's almost like the Avengers, everyone teaming up. You got the West Bloomfield Township, the school district, the public library, everybody. How does that enhance the event's mission?
Well, I think that it really helps to show the community that this is something that is not just honored and appreciated by the WB Parks, but by the community partners who are serving them on a day-to-day basis. So I think, and I love the fact that not only this event could not happen without the wonderful sponsors that we have, Seniors Benefit Plus, for example. They support us year after year. And so these are this program, I should say, is so important and so valued, and it just creates that space to say, hey, we thank you. And we're excited this year because we had the hometown singers, but then we also have some local musicians, and that will be the middle school. They will be performing our veterans out at the end of the session. So we're really excited about this year's event. And we also have some donations from Mission Barbecue. So we're really excited about this event and looking forward to being able to gather our seniors, all of our veterans to acknowledge this important season as we go into Veterans Day.
That's right, and it's going to be a very moving ceremony for all of the veterans that are there. And every Heroes Breakfast, I'm sure no two Heroes Breakfasts have been exactly the same. What new features or enhancements are being introduced this year compared to past years?
Well, one of the things that every year, our goal is always to make it more seamless, make it more efficient. And so in the past, we've had photographers. We're actually doing our own photo booth, and we have it set up so that folks can take their photos, go into their event, walk out, have their names on their badge, on their pictures, they can walk out. We also, like I said, we had a donation from Mission Barbecue, and they're donating a Tiffany casserole. So that would be a new addition. And we have all of our wonderful volunteers who play a key role in making this event happen so that we can serve almost 200 folks that come out. And we also have a process that is easier for them to check in, and we have a special guest from Selfish Air Base. So we're really excited about this event. But I will tell you, this is a well-oiled machine because we've been doing it. The processes and how we do it is great. And so we do have our fire chief, our fire chaplain, Tim Hoserland, who will be doing our invocation. We have a wonderful MC, Al Muskovitz. So if you watch the news or know anything about sports, or even have been around for a while, Big Al is going to be our MC. And then we have one of our fire chiefs will also be our MC. So will be one of our folks who will be doing some speaking as well. So I think we have some really great things going, and we're excited about the event this year.
You absolutely should be excited. It sounds like you've got a great lineup of speakers and entertainers for the program. How do you select who speaks and entertains for the program, and what qualities do you tend to look for in those people?
I think one of the qualities first, we want them to understand the veteran experience. So if they are not a veteran, that they've interacted and engaged, because again, this is to honor our veterans. So we want to make sure that we are having presenters who can speak to their challenges, who can speak to how important that they are. So that's really important for us. And then also making sure that we are trying to find local veterans or people who are currently serving, so that we can make sure that we are taking into consideration some of the challenges that people may experience just living in and also the wins that people may have living in our community or near our community.
For those just joining us on the Splash Live, I'm talking with Bernadette Hudgens, the Senior Services Manager for West Bloomfield Parks, who's giving us some insight on this year's Heroes Appreciation Breakfast that is going to be taking place on November 4th. Now, as we've said, this event is open to everybody, not just veterans, but non-veterans as well. How do you balance honoring veterans while also including non-veterans, and what's the significance of making it open to all?
Well, I think it's important as we think about honoring our veterans that, again, that they know that it's not just our community partners, right? So anyone who is not a veteran and they're not coming as a gift, the fee is nominal, $15 for a breakfast, and most of us spend more than that going to brunch. So $15 is a nominal fee, but all of our veterans, and again, you don't have to be a West Bloomfield veteran to come. So you go on to our WBParks.org website, you can go and look for the registration, and you can register, and every veteran is able to bring one free guest. So again, it's a great event. The tickets go fast, so we encourage people, go ahead and get that registration going so that we can make sure that we're ready and prepared for you. And it's going to be an exciting event.
Sounds like it, and I hope that there are a lot of veterans that end up making their way over to West Bloomfield Middle School to celebrate this event. And as this has been going on for a few years, I'm curious, what has the response been from the veterans who attend, especially the ones that have come back every year? And are there particular moments that really resonate the most with them?
I would say yes. So first of all, this is a very important event, and our seniors, the feedback has been very positive. They enjoy it, they respect it, and they look for it. And so, we are always thinking about how to make things better and greater. And we receive feedback. Last year, we happened to have it on a Saturday, and we received feedback that there was a preference because of our Jewish veterans would like it to be on a weekday. So we were able to work with the school, and because the day of voting is a day that we know automatically that the children are not there or will be leaving, we can make sure that the space is open. So, and it was a question of, wow, you're having this event on the day of voting. And I would say, as we think about one of the wonderful things that our veterans fought for, and that's for our democracy. So having it on the day of voting, I think, is a way to also commemorate one of the key things that they fought for in regards to our freedom. So it's going to be a great event. And the wonderful thing about it is that it's just for a few hours. So again, it's not the whole day. You come in, enjoy some music, along with great speakers and a tasty breakfast. I say that our school children are eating really well because the cooks and the culinary staff there at the West Bloomfield Middle School, their breakfasts are bar none the best. I know that I've enjoyed.
That's great to hear. And that's very interesting to hear the thought process in terms of choosing the day. And it makes a lot of sense. It's a day that everybody is thinking about our country. And of course, that means it's a day we're thinking about our veterans. So it all makes sense. I think that that is a great decision. I got a couple more questions before we wrap things up, Bernadette. What would you say this event means to the families of veterans and their service members? And how would you say this impacts them specifically?
I love that question because I think it speaks to how honored and appreciative that they have that we have an event like this, that they can say, not only do I care about my veteran, but there is a level of respect and honor. And also we appreciate the family members, because if you are a family member of a veteran, there is sacrifice. There's sacrifice that you would have made that otherwise other people may not have experienced. So you've given up a lot as a family member of a veteran, whether you are a child or even a grandchild, because there are stories and also experiences that they may have that impact them today.
That's absolutely right. It's important that these stories are preserved, and it's great that this is going to be an amazing event to help tell those stories and to celebrate these veterans for everything that they've done. Last question, Bernadette. Looking ahead, how would you like the Heroes Appreciation Breakfast to evolve or expand in the future?
You know, I think we're constantly thinking about how to make the program better. And so I think last year we had a video that was done. So I'm really hoping in the future that we can do some things more with the students to be able to engage veterans who may not only show up, but also just to make sure that we take into account people's stories, people's experiences. And it's always wonderful to hear a speaker, but it's something that is to be said about a person and real, a person who may just be a regular guest and may not have been a corporal or a sergeant, but as a private who have had experiences. So I think thinking about how we can continue to engage our participants in the program, I think that's one of the things that I'd like to add as I think about what this program, you know, broadening and having it grow in the future.
Well, we can't wait to see what's to come with this year's event and for everybody to be celebrating all of this fun on November 4th. Bernadette, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
My pleasure, and anytime.
Once again, the Heroes Breakfast will be taking place on November 4th. And if you're not going to be able to be there in person, have no fear. Civic Center TV will be broadcasting the event live. So stay tuned for updates regarding that in the coming weeks. Soul Studio in West Bloomfield recently unveiled their newest art exhibit to the public, Worlds Beyond, an exploration of imagination, which is currently available up until November 13th at Soul Studio in West Bloomfield. I was there at the grand opening celebration for this latest exhibit to hear what some of the residents of the community and those who have worked with the artists closely have had to say.
I'm honestly really impressed. Like, some of the stuff in here is really good. Like, you know, walking around this art gallery, sometimes, like, I forget I'm in, like, just, like, a local art gallery. I'm like, oh, wow, this is, like, a professional studio almost. Like, it's amazing, honestly. Like, I really appreciate that they give the opportunity to everybody here, and they get this awesome creative outlet and give back to the community at the end of the day, you know?
It's incredible. I have been to every one. I have been since day one when it was just sort of a thought. So every art show is incredible. I think they get better every time.
And I understand that your daughter has some exhibits here tonight. What is it like to see her showcase her artwork to everybody?
What can I say? It's amazing. It's my motto is never say never, because she was totally nonverbal and totally in her own world for years. So a lot of therapy and a lot of friendship circle and Soul Studio. And that is why she is who she is today.
What have been some of the coolest things you've seen here tonight from the art?
Man, I would say just like the collaborative piece, which is like the main focus over there. It's awesome to see everyone work together kind of in their own way and then see it get pieced together. I really enjoy it.
How great is it to see all of their hard work pay off and to be featured in such a prominent way?
No, it's amazing, you know. It's really amazing because I kind of feel part of it, you know, and then seeing everyone get excited about their artwork hanging up, and then especially when it sells, it makes it all worth it.
And would you say with this theme, Worlds Beyond, that it's really showcasing the imagination of these artists?
Well, you know, people hold multitudes, and these artists have such rich inner worlds that once they display them and share them with us, it's a door to extraordinary place. It's out of this world.
what are some of the biggest things people can take away from being a part of something like this?
That it's not just the artwork, it's the friendships, it's knowing that you belong somewhere, nobody's questioning you, everybody loves you. It's an amazing organization. What can I say? I don't know what I would do without it.
You know, I think a big thing is like, don't judge a book by its cover, you know? I think a lot of times, like the artists that we work with, they haven't had an opportunity to present what they can do, but it's amazing to see what people are capable when given the opportunity.
That's absolutely right. And that is going to do it for us today here on the Splash Live. Big thank you to all of our guests and for everybody on the Splash Live team for helping to make this show possible every single day. I've been your host, Jake Schaff, live, local, social. It's the Splash Live on Civic Center TV and 89.3 Lakes FM.